With the lighter, cheaper jet, the People's Liberation Army Air Force has become the second air force after the U.S. to operate two distinct stealth fighters. The People's Liberation Army Air Force, PLAAF, officially announced it will adopt the sleek J-35A medium-weight multi-role stealth fighter, mainly for air combat operations, the government announced. It will become the second air force after the U.S. to operate two distinct stealth fighter types. The J-35A isn't intended to strictly outperform China's first stealth fighter, the beefy Chengdu J-20, which likely will retain greater range, maximum payload, and maximum speed. However, it seems the J-35 as lower cost and weight may have been valuable enough for the PLAAF to consider trading in older, non-stealth warplanes for shorter-range stealth fighters. Intentionally or otherwise, the J-35 designation also serves as an ironic nod to the US F-35 stealth jet, to which it bears a passing visual and conceptual resemblance. Adaptable to both land and carrier-based deployment and for export overseas. The J-35 as overall geometry, its smooth conformal surfaces, and F-35 style divertless supersonic inlets suggest a low radar cross-section. Still, we can't discern exactly how stealthy the plane is from photos, because radar reflectivity is heavily affected by design and integration of radar-absorbent materials, internal inlet/nozzle architecture, and manufacturing finesse. Still, the J-35 doesn't have to be as exquisitely stealthy as a US F-22 Raptor to usefully shrink the range at which it can be reliably detected and engaged by missiles. That's important because powerful radars and long-range missiles have greatly constrained Russia and Ukraine's non-stealth warplanes in their current war, with some aircraft downed by missiles fired from over 100 miles away. The Shenyang Aircraft Corporation began independently developing a stealth fighter on its own dime, even as China's government poured resources into its first operational stealth aircraft, the Chengdu J-20. Following a first flight in 2012, Shenyang unveiled the aircraft at the Zhuhai Air Show in 2014, though it reportedly struggled during a flight maneuver display. The PLAAF turned a cold shoulder to this design, which Shenyang designated the FC-31 Falcon export fighter. However, rumors alleged China's Navy saw the smaller, lighter fighter as a natural fit for catapult launch from its forthcoming Type 003 aircraft carriers. By 2018, reports confirmed the FC-31 had begun receiving government funding. Two subsequent FC-31 configurations in 2016 and 2020 revealed significant changes to the wings, fuselage, engines, radar and optical sensors, and stealth optimization. Then a fourth model equipped for carrier operations took flight in 2021 with folding wings, double-wheel nose landing gear, F-35, style front-opening canopy, and support for catapult-assisted takeoff. Finally, in 2023 came a fifth variant with smaller wings, revised tail fins, and single-wheel gear, clearly a land-based model with naval elements trimmed away. While these last two iterations of the plane were speculatively called J-31s, they now seem to correspond to the Navy's J-35 and Air Force's J-35A designations respectively. The Falcon's visual similarities to the F-35 were speculatively linked to China's hacking of some F-35 design files, revealed in 2009. The manufacturer hasn't shied away from F-35 comparisons either. While the F-35 clearly informs the FC-31's design, that only goes so far. Keep in mind physics compel many modern stealth fighters to share similar geometry. Try also visually comparing the F-35 to South Korea's KF-21 and Turkey's Conjet. Moreover, the FC-31/J-35 differs substantially in having two engines and a much leaner fuselage. Performance-wise, Shenyang said Falcon prototypes had a maximum speed of Mach 1.8, a service ceiling of 52,000 feet, and a combat radius of 750 miles before factoring in air-to-air refueling. For armament, the Falcon can stealthily carry 6 air-to-air missiles, 4 air-to-surface missiles, or half-ton bombs in an internal weapons bay. Forsaking stealth, it can carry 6 more underwing weapons. These stats, which likely aren't representative of fully outfitted production models, appear to be on par with or like a slight improvement on the F-35's characteristics. However, Many of the F-35's strengths are on the inside, its radar-absorbent materials as well as sensors, communication systems, and network computers. Can Beijing match them qualitatively? China's industry appears more capable than Russia's when it comes to production of advanced electronics and systems for networked warfare, though performance compared to Western counterparts remains unclear. The J-35A sports an undernose electro-optical target system, and Shenyang also claims it has multiple optical/infrared sensors spread across the airframe that can provide 360-degree situational awareness, useful for reconnaissance and early warning of incoming missiles. But China has struggled to perfect reliable high-thrust turbofan engines to end its dependence on Russian imports. By mid-2024, Janes estimated the PLAAF was already operating 195 J-20 stealth fighters, a substantial production rate. So why buy J-35s too? Smaller fighters might serve a grand strategy, helping replace hundreds of older J-7, J-8, J-10A, and J-11 fighters the PLAAF will likely retire over the next decade. The PLAAF may want more stealth aircraft, but not necessarily in a format as heavy and expensive as the J-20. A high-low mix of light and heavy stealth fighters offers possible efficiencies. For example, should China invade nearby Taiwan, cheaper, short-range J-35s could focus on battling Taiwanese forces and providing defensive air cover, while heavier J-20s fly around Taiwan to interdict U.S. aircraft attempting to intervene. The PLAAF's adoption of the J-35A may alternately aim to boost its still unrealized export potential by convincing foreign countries. It's a serious design guaranteed to receive years of Chinese government-funded procurement. There's a large international demand for stealth fighters from countries the U.S. either opposes or doesn't trust enough to sell F-35s to, or even foreign-built planes using U.S. components for that matter. That's a demand a mature FC-31/J-35 design could meet, possibly beating Russia's rival in development, the Su-75 checkmate export fighter, to the punch. Already, Pakistan announced plans this year to acquire Falcons, with pilots reportedly already training to fly them. Admittedly, procuring many J-35s could delay China's development of a sixth-generation fighter intended to push the technological envelope further. However, the PLAAF may also be aware of headwinds facing sixth-generation R&D programs, with the U.S. Air Force suggesting earlier this year it might cancel its program and focus on a drone, loyal wingman concept instead. From the U.S. standpoint, the J-35 as adoption raises the potential that China and its clients may replace a larger share of older, non-stealth aircraft with stealth designs. In response, the U.S. military might revise air-to-air and air defense tactics to assume more aerial threats may be detected at uncomfortably shorter ranges, affording less reaction time. That may compel America to improve protections for vulnerable assets like early warning aircraft, re-emphasizing within visual range air combat training and fielding more counter-stealth capabilities. In any case, the J-35A marks a long-awaited vindication for a design that received an indifferent reception a decade ago. How it will perform in comparison to America's F-35 is yet to be seen.